We were one Stephen A. Smith leak away from witnessing one of the most unstoppable duos in NBA history, Tracy McGrady and Allen Iverson on the 76ers, a trade that was all but done until an early leak gave Toronto cold feet, robbing us of seeing that 1-2 punch. The big question is obvious: could Iverson and T-Mac have delivered a championship to Philly? Because to win a ring, they would have to take down either Shaq and Kobe's Lakers or Tim Duncan's Spurs, two of the most dominant teams of the era. And these changes wouldn't just affect the Sixers. The ripple effects would send shockwaves across the league, with superstars getting drafted to different teams, creating finals matchups we've never seen before, and ultimately altering NBA history as a whole. Let's find out what Stephen A. Smith really took from us. That takes us to February 16, 2000, a week before the trade deadline, and after months of discussion and no Stephen A. Smith interference, Larry Hughes and a first-round pick are sent to the Toronto Raptors for future All-Star guard Tracy McGrady. But T-Mac isn't fully T-Mac yet. He's only 20, and next season is when he breaks out. Even so, he's already better than Larry Hughes, and helps the Sixers win 2 more games, moving them from the 5th seed to the 3rd seed. But just like in real life, they get knocked out in the second round in 6 games, but this time against the Miami Heat instead of the Pacers. The finals remain unchanged, as Shaq and Kobe take home their first championship. Moving into the 2000 offseason, Larry Hughes re-signs with the Raptors, while T-Mac at just 21 years old takes a massive leap. He's now putting up 22 points per game alongside Allen Iverson's 28, giving Philly a lethal 50-point duo. That helps the 76ers win 5 extra games, where they win a league best 61. After not acquiring Tony Kukoc last season, having instead landed T-Mac, they have to send out a different package to get Defensive Player of the Year to Dikembe Mutombo on the team, sending out Theo Ratliff, Bruce Bowen, and Nazir Muhammad. But the team most affected by this trade so far is the Orlando Magic, as they're in shambles without T-Mac, as Grant Hill plays just 4 games, and to no surprise, they have one of the worst records, winning just 18 games, 25 less than with T-Mac. McGrady, on the other hand, he's thriving. In the second round, he makes the Raptors regret trading him, dominating his cousin Vince Carter in 6 games and advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. There, the Sixers make quick work of Ray Allen and the Milwaukee Bucks, setting up a finals matchup with the defending champions, Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers, coming in after sweeping the West, get shocked in Game 1, as Iverson goes insane, stealing the opener. But just like real life, even with the addition of Tracy McGrady, the Lakers respond, winning 4 straight games and claiming back-to-back championships. As they walk off the court, T-Mac and Iverson make it clear to each other they'll be back this time next year, ready to take on whoever stands in their way. And that leads us into the 2001 offseason, where the draft shakes up a bit. The Magic, coming off a season from hell, jump up in the lottery to grab the first overall pick. They take high school phenom LeBron James. Just kidding, that's 2 years away. Instead, they select Kwame Brown, and it looks like the Magic are still in hell. With Orlando sliding in the standings, the Cavaliers jump up to pick 2 instead of the Clippers, selecting Tyson Chandler. Other than that, no major moves happen in the draft, and free agency stays relatively quiet. With the offseason wrapped, let's dive into the 2002 NBA season. T-Mac and Iverson, with a year of basketball together under their belt, have developed better chemistry together, and it shows. And it helps the Sixers win a conference best 57 games. Round 1 is no challenge for them. They sweep past the Bucks for the 2nd straight season. Then in round 2, they take down the Celtics again to reach the Eastern Conference Finals. And after a grueling 6-game battle with the Nets, they punch their ticket to their 2nd straight NBA Finals, where they're once again matched up with the Lakers. With last year's final loss still in mind, they're more motivated than ever to get revenge and win their first championship. But the Lakers aren't playing around this time. They know that the 76ers are a real threat, and they comfortably take games 1 and 2 at home. In games 3 and 4, with their backs against the wall and on the verge of another finals defeat, T-Mac and Iverson respond. The league's most explosive backcourt lives up to their name, evening the series at 2-2. In Game 5, with Philly having a chance to go up 3-2 on their home floor, Shaq refuses to let that happen, dropping 40 and 15 to steal the game. And back in LA for Game 6, Kobe and Shaq each dropped 30, completing the three-peat and taking down the Sixers for the 2nd straight year. Once again, the Sixers come up short, and for the first time the questions start to creep in. Will T-Mac and Iverson ever be able to get past the Lakers and finally win it all? With the 2002 offseason underway, the Sixers retooled their roster. They shipped Dikembe Mutombo to conference rival New Jersey for Keith Van Horn, then replace him at center by acquiring Marcus Camby, sending out starting point guard Eric Snow, a first-round pick, and veteran Mark Bryan. The moves give Philly another Defensive Player of the Year caliber big to pair with Iverson and T-Mac for the next couple of seasons. And if you're wondering why Camby never ends up in Denver, the standings shake out a little differently, and the Nuggets jump to the number 1 pick instead of Houston, giving Denver their franchise big man. Meanwhile, Atlantic catches a break. The Knicks select Chris Wilcox at 8, helping them avoid the mistake of passing on Amari Stoudemire. Jumping into the 2003 season, the Sixers once again dominate, finishing with the number 1 seed, and that's without Marcus Camby, who plays just 29 games during the regular season, but returns in time for the playoffs. Philly officially owns the city of Milwaukee, taking them out for the 3rd straight year in under 5 games. Next up are the Pacers, and after a hard-fought 6-game battle, the Sixers reach the Eastern Conference Finals for the 3rd straight year. Once again, they run into New Jersey, but this time, things fall apart. Camby struggles to find his rhythm, Iverson's playmaking is exposed, and Jason Kidd completely dismantles the Sixers' defense. Philly goes down in 6 games, failing to return to the finals. The Spurs would go on to beat the Nets in 6 games, winning the 2nd championship of the Tim Duncan era. Iverson and T-Mac leave the court devastated after coming up even shorter than the previous 2 seasons. But with a full season to gel with Camby, maybe next year is finally the year they get over the hump, or who knows what moves the Sixers might make. Making our way to the 2003 offseason, the draft doesn't shake up much. The franchise players stay put while Kirk Heinrich ends up in Detroit. Philly runs it back with the same core, but this time, Iverson defers to T-Mac a bit more and improves as a playmaker. And for the first time in his career, Allen Iverson doesn't lead the team in scoring. T-Mac takes over, averaging a few more points per night, pushing the Sixers to 56 wins and the 3 seed. In the first round, they take out the New Orleans Hornets in 5, who for some reason are in the Eastern Conference. Round 2 pits them against the Pistons. Philly drops the first 2 games in Detroit, but in Game 3, they bounce back at home. But a late game meltdown in Game 4 gives the Pistons a 3-1 lead. In Game 5, they're not going down without a fight. T-Mac drops 40 points to force a Game 6. And in Game 6, back in Philly, Iverson explodes for 31 points and 12 assists, and the Sixers are on the verge of completing a 3-1 comeback. Game 7 starts, and it's all Pistons early. Philly struggles to buy a bucket, but slowly, bit by bit, in the 2nd and 3rd quarters, the Sixers crawl their way back. The scores are tied with just minutes to go, but once again, they come up short, as Detroit's defense proves to be too much. After another heartbreaking year, it's clear. The Sixers need to make a big decision if they want to finally get over the hump, whether that means tweaking the roster or making a bigger move. But maybe it's not all bad. They fell to the team that would go on to dethrone the Lakers in just 5 games. Coming into the 2004 offseason, rumors swirl around whether T-Mac and Iverson will finally split after 5 years of heartbreak and missed opportunities. But Philly keeps the core intact. Instead, they trade Aaron McKee and a 2nd-round pick for a perfect-fitting defensive wing, Raja Bell. And from here on out, the ripple effects really start to hit. Because after missing out on Amari the year before, the Suns completely bottom out, losing 8 more games than reality, and end up landing the 1st pick, where they select Dwight Howard. And with Steve Nash joining the Suns in free agency, things are about to get real scary in Phoenix. A few of the other noteworthy changes are Luol Deng going to the Clippers at pick 7, and at pick 9, the Celtics select Andre Iguodala. Heading into the regular season, the Sixers are definitely happy they kept their core together. For the first time in 5 years, they win a league-best 64 games, with Raja Bell's additions paying massive dividends on the defensive end. That shows immediately in the first round, as Philly smacks the Nets in a sweep. And in round 2, they face the Celtics with the new addition of Andre Iguodala, who in reality was drafted by the Sixers. He shows some flashes, but the Sixers are just too good, and they take the series fairly comfortably in 6 games. And that sets up a rematch with Detroit in the conference finals, the team that knocked them out in heartbreaking fashion the year before. Wanting revenge, they come out swinging in games 1 and 2, defending their home court. Game 3 is all Detroit though. But in Game 4, the Pistons can't get anything going offensively, and the Sixers take advantage and go up 3-1. They're now just 1 game away from their 3rd finals appearance, but it won't come in Game 5, as the Sixers drop 1 on the road. In Game 6 back in Detroit, T-Mac has a stinker, and the Pistons take advantage, pushing the series to a Game 7. On the verge of blowing a 3-1 lead, Allen Iverson rises to the moment, dropping 34 points in Game 7 to send Philly back to the finals. The Sixers are finally back in the finals, this time against the San Antonio Spurs. And maybe surprisingly to some, Philly defends their home court, as Iverson and McGrady both deliver huge performances in Games 1 and 2. San Antonio responds with back-to-back blowouts, and in Game 5 in San Antonio, it stays close throughout the whole game, but Tim Duncan takes over down the stretch, giving the Spurs a 3-2 series lead. With the season on the line and fear of another missed opportunity, T-Mac answers with a calm 30 points to force a Game 7. And Game 7 stays neck and neck the entire night. In the 4th quarter, Allen Iverson goes on a scoring tear, hitting shot after shot, and when the final buzzer sounds, the 76ers capture their first title in 22 years. After years of heartbreak, including 2 finals losses, the Allen Iverson-Tracy McGrady duo are finally NBA champions. But their story doesn't end here, so let's jump into the 2005 offseason. In the draft, nothing league-altering happens, and with the Magic missing out on Dwight last year, they end up with the first pick this year, and replace him with Andrew Bogut. And with Larry Hughes being traded to Toronto for T-Mac back in 2000, he stays put, signing another deal with the Raptors, meaning Cleveland signs nobody, which might actually help them in the long run. Heading into the 2006 season, the Sixers remain strong, and more importantly, healthy. With Iverson and McGrady sharing the scoring load, neither has to carry the team alone, and their bodies hold up for a few more years. And that shows in the standings, as Philly wins 60 games and secures the 2 seed. Replacing Amari Stoudemire with Dwight Howard completely transforms them. Their defense is next level, and paired with Steve Nash, Dwight turns into an absolute monster without needing constant post touches. Nash takes home the MVP, and in just their second year together, the Suns reach the Western Conference Finals, before Dirk's Mavericks proved to be too much, taking them down in 6. Back in the East, the Sixers open the playoffs looking to repeat, and come out firing, sweeping the Pacers in the first round. In the second round, they run into the Miami Heat, and the series goes the full 7 games. And in Game 7 in Philly, Dwayne Wade outplays both Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady, sending the defending champs home. Another disappointing end to the season for the Sixers, and once again, the team that eliminates them goes on to win it all, as Miami takes down Dallas in 6. The 2006 draft sees Houston's incredible luck continue. After missing out on T-Mac and Yao, they somehow land the first pick and select future NBA superstar Andrea Bargnani. Things aren't looking good in Houston. Another notable change in the draft sees Brandon Roy head to the Bobcats, giving them 4 good seasons before injuries will force him to retire. With no Larry Hughes, the Cavs need another scorer to pair with LeBron. They trade their promising young assets Tyson Chandler and Drew Gooden along with a first-round pick for all-star guard Ray Allen, giving LeBron a second option. The move pays off immediately. Cleveland win a conference-best 64 games, while T-Mac and Iverson's Sixers remain strong, finishing right behind them with 56 wins. In the West, the Suns dominate. The Nash-Dwight duo are just made for each other. Dwight's defense and athleticism, combined with Nash's vision and passing, turns Phoenix into a nightmare matchup for anybody. They take down the Lakers and Nuggets in 6 games each, and survive a grueling 7-game series against the Spurs to reach their first NBA Finals since the early 90s. Back in the East, the Sixers put the final nail in the coffin against their longtime rival the Nets, sweeping them in the first round. In round 2, in just 5 games, they take out another rival, the Pistons, with both T-Mac and Iverson looking unstoppable. In the conference finals, they face the Cavs, who just came off back-to-back sweeps. And to no surprise, Cleveland defends their home court. The Sixers are different though. In Game 3, they start on fire, building a 20-point halftime lead. But Ray Allen catches fire from deep in the third, and LeBron closes strong, keeping Cleveland's win streak alive and taking a 3-0 lead. A 3-0 lead is basically a death sentence, but Philly's pride won't let them get swept. McGrady explodes for 45 in Game 4 to save them from embarrassment. Still, in Game 5, LeBron and the Cavs finished the job, eliminating the Sixers and making their first NBA Finals. The finals see a first-time matchup, Cavs vs Suns. Cleveland defends their home court in games 1 and 2. Phoenix responds in 3 and 4, but in the final home game, a Ray Allen 3-point masterclass gives Cleveland a 3-2 lead. In Game 6, LeBron takes over, outplaying Steve Nash, and he wins his first NBA championship. Once again, the Sixers are eliminated by the eventual champs. Heading into the 2007 offseason, in the draft, the Timberwolves land the first pick and select Greg Oden, a perfect replacement for Kevin Garnett, who gets traded to the Celtics to team up with Paul Pierce and Andre Iguodala. At pick 2, the Bucks take Kevin Durant, while the Magic select Al Horford at 3, and the Sonics go with Mike Conley at 4. With Phoenix having made the finals the previous season, they have no reason to trade for Shaq, so he ends up on the Clippers for Chris Kaman, Tim Thomas, and Brevin Knight. That helps the Heat double their wins, but they still finish just 30 and 52, landing the 12th seed. T-Mac starts to deal with a few nagging injuries, but the Sixers still put together 52 wins and the 4th seed. Phoenix once again dominates the West, claiming 65 wins, and in the conference finals, they take down Kobe and the newly acquired Pau Gasol in a grueling 7-game series, punching their tickets to the final for the 2nd straight season. Back in the East, the Sixers face the Bobcats in round 1, led by sophomore Brandon Roy, but they make quick work of them, winning in 5 games. In the second round, they face the Celtics' big four of Rondo, Iguodala, Pierce, and Garnett. Despite giving it everything they got, the Sixers fall in 6 games. And with the rise of these teams in the East, Philly's window for a championship starts to feel uncertain. In the Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics defeat the defending champion Cavaliers in 6 games, then go on to take down Phoenix in the finals. Garnett and Perkins dominate the paint inside, slowing down Dwight Howard, and the Boston Celtics are crowned the 2007 NBA champions. Jumping into the 2008 offseason, the draft shakes up the East even more. Thanks to the Chris Kaman trade giving them 15 extra wins, the Heat jump to the number 1 pick, and select Derrick Rose, pairing him with Dwayne Wade to create a backcourt duo on level with Iverson and T-Mac. At pick 4, the Timberwolves take Russell Westbrook, a future MVP, while at pick 5, the Grizzlies select Kevin Love and hold on to him. At pick 10, the Rockets secure their future starting big by taking Brook Lopez. Meanwhile, it's becoming clear that the Sixers' time as title contenders is winding down. T-Mac misses over half the season, and Iverson has declined from his previous form. Philly finishes with just 42 wins, earning the 6th seed. The Cavaliers dominate the East, winning 69 games as LeBron and Ray Allen terrorize the league. In the first round of the playoffs, a healthy T-Mac returns, and he and Allen Iverson lead the Sixers to an upset, taking down the 3-seeded Hawks in 6 games. In round 2, they face the Celtics, who eliminated them last season, but this time, they're without Kevin Garnett, who goes down with an injury late in the season. And in a grueling 7-game series, Philly pulls off another upset, advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals despite only winning 42 games in the regular season. As expected, they run into the 69-win Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Philly surprises everyone by defending their home court, and in Game 6, down 2-3 in the series, they have a 15-point lead at halftime. But the miracle ends here, as LeBron goes berserk, closing out the Sixers in 6 games. LeBron and the Cavs move on to the finals to face the Lakers in an epic Kobe vs LeBron showdown. After a 7-game battle, LeBron and Ray Allen managed to topple the Lakers, completing a shocking upset and claiming their 2nd title. Heading into the 2009 offseason, in the draft, the Wizards land the first pick and select Blake Griffin, while the Clippers grab James Harden at 3. The Thunder take DeMar DeRozan at 5, and Steph Curry still ends up in Golden State. In the regular season, it becomes clear that the Sixers should have ended last year on a high note, but instead, they push one more year with both Iverson and T-Mac past their peaks. Neither looks good, but their defense saves them from disaster. They finish with just 38 wins and take home the 8th seed. And in one of the most lopsided playoff series in history, the Cavaliers absolutely destroy the Sixers, sending the duo to the Shadow Realm and effectively ending the era of Iverson and T-Mac. That Cavs team goes on to take out the Wade and Rose Heat in 6 games in the conference finals, only to fall to Kobe and the Lakers, who get their revenge and win in 6 games. If this trade had gone through, the Sixers would have finally won a championship and made 3 finals appearances. Iverson and McGrady wouldn't be remembered as some of the best players to never win a ring. They'd go down as one of the greatest backcourts in NBA history, and easily the most entertaining, putting up buckets together for over a decade. The East in this timeline would be absolutely terrifying for years, with the Heat, Cavs, Celtics, and maybe even the Bucks all destined to compete for championships. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you. I'll see y'all in the next one.